Hi, assholes. Well, this is what was on my pull list this month. I can only go to my LCS, local comic shop. Yeah, once a month. It's downtown Montreal. The one nearby, there's a few places nearby, but none of them are really like comic book experts. Imaginaire is more like, cards and board games, obscure board games, and Warhammer. There's some Gunpla, puzzles, and some other knickknacks so that people feel like they actually are part of the geekdom, like Funko Pop and other useless action figures. So if anything doesn't show up, they have no idea why. They have no idea the procedures to get in contact with Diamond Distribution or Previews or whoever. Last time I had a pull list with them, it wasn't going anywhere. I had books that came out 4 months later. So yeah, I don't go there. There's another one, Maynard's in Longueuil. I think they would be better, but it's not really that much closer to go there. I mean, it'll save me a trip. Maybe I'll get into contact with them. I don't know what kind of discount they offer for pull lists. These guys offered, I think it's 20% off, so it sounds like my phone's vibrating, but it's actually my cat snoring. He's in the kitchen, like maybe 30 feet from me, and I can hear him snoring. So anyways, these are the pulls that I took for this last month. And I figured, I just finished reading the last one yesterday, and I want to go through them quickly and give it a yay or nay. So I'll start with Jennifer Blood. I was introduced to Jennifer Blood in Dynamite Lives. It was good. She was a fun character. And I read the first 4 issues. I didn't like the first one. I thought it was shit. The second and third and fourth were significantly better. The 5th one really rocked it. But now she's traveling with some porn stash guy. I'm not going to tell you the road so far. She's supposed to be a highly trained assassin. Like, highly trained. Like Gun Honey, but with gun experience. I think Gun Honey is only good at infiltrating, getting in and out. But I don't think she's a weapons expert. Jennifer Blood's supposed to be, I wouldn't say James Bond, that motherfucker's always captured. But like, maybe Alias would be a good one. It kills bad guys, kills bad girls. She's teaming up now with on the death's door porn stash Mexican cartel guy. And they're sparring, or he said something she didn't like, and they got into like a quick little spar session, and he overtakes her. And he's like making fun of her, but like, she's supposed to be skilled. Like, out of the two, she's supposed to be better than him. So I don't understand. Maybe I don't know enough about this character. Maybe I should go back and get what Garth Ennis's book, because he's the one who created her. But I have to say that was disappointing. That's what happened in this book. The training with porn stash and her thinking that she needs... And it seems like there's developing... Take note, Rainbow. They seem to be developing some kind of weird kinship. I'm not sure what the relationship is supposed to be. If it's like she sees him as a mentor father figure, or she wants to have his wang in her mouth. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I can tell you that it's a little bizarre. And I hope that they don't develop that any further than mentorship. This is what came out this month. It's basically the bad guy is caught up to porn stash at the end of number 8, 7, 9. And they start interrogating him, and there's this assassin guy. He's like really off-putting to look at, but like really, what do you call it? Like, he's a know-it-all. He hits people with all sorts of factoids. He's got like a very encyclopedic mind. Anyways, Dude's pretty, he's got a lot of facts. And some people are like, don't get him started. And then they're on a long elevator ride. And the guy's like, oh, why'd you say something? He's got questions. And he tells Pornstash that he's not really dying. So his fear of not dying, of dying before he has to die, is taken away from him, which makes him less dangerous. Now he's got to be a little more calculated with what he's got to do. And they're closing in on a truck that they stole of, I think it's drugs. I read this like, I think 2 weeks ago. And as they're closing in, Jennifer Blood like fucking wrecks them. Now that's more like it. So yeah, this one redeems it. Like I would get the trades because for every one book that's bad, there's at least 2 or 3 that are pretty good. I know a lot of people are hating on this. Peter Parker's an asshole. I have to go back and read it, but it's not the impression that I got that he's an asshole. It was he's got his head somewhere else. He's really not living in the moment. He's trying to solve or process some kind of thing that they haven't told us yet. At the same time, he's dealing with this other thing. And he gets, like this cover really tells you what to expect inside. Randy, Peter's good friend, is on a date with Tombstone's daughter, and he's going to propose to her. He already asked for Tombstone's blessing in issue 2, I believe. And Peter knows that that's what's going on right now. And he's taking a beating from Tombstone with his hands cuffed in some kind of like super metal, you're not fucking getting out of this shit. And if you can hear, my other cat is meowing, but my dog is sleeping right there. She keeps that up. My dog's going to get up and get her. Get her. Anyways, this whole book, Spidey takes a beating. The date happens. And it's like Tombstone's building up this idea that he's going to do something terrible here and blame it on the Rose Gang, I think. And look, some of my henchmen are dressed as them, so it's all going to look real good. And at the end of the book, Spidey's like full-blown cuck. This dude's like, I've learned my lesson. I've learned it. And Tombstone's like, I don't care. So he broke Spider-Man. I don't know if anyone ever did. I'm not sure if that's a good way to go about writing Spidey. The bad guy just put him in a situation. He looked like he's not getting out. This is the first time I'm like, fuck, how is he going to get out of this? This issue is action-packed. Holy balls. You eventually start to not notice the imperfections of Romita Jr.'s art for the action sequences, which is probably what kept him on Punisher for so long. The action sequences. They were fucking great. Man, some other people should take goddamn note. Now, does that sell a book? No. At the beginning of this book, was it the beginning of this one? Yeah, Black Cat is asking MJ about where Pete's at. I wrote little notes because I just went through it a little bit before starting this. Peter's saved by, or Spidey's saved by some gang guy, Kareem, and he gets him out, and then Spider-Man kicks the shit out of everybody. He thinks he's got to like pull out all the stops. He's got to stop all of Tombstone's men. But it wasn't such. At the end of all that, it turns out Tombstone wasn't even there. He wasn't where Spider-Man wasn't where he thought he was. He actually just took out the Rose Gang for Tombstone. At the same time, Tombstone looked like he was kidnapping Randy's dad. Actually, in the last issue, that's what was going on. Oh no, in this one. And he calls Randy, oh my God, you got to go save your dad. And he shows up and it turns out everything's fine. And Spidey shows up at the top of the building and he noticed that he's in the wrong place. Tombstone is so smart. I love smart bad guys. I don't like comic book bad guys typically because they never die. It's fucking irritating. Well, I don't kill anybody. Bring him to justice. Like, as far as I'm concerned, what I think happens is like there's a giant apartment complex. I used to think like dingy, but now I'm thinking more like Johnny Depp's story. If you guys were following his case, like some big apartment complex, everybody lives in it, and it's like one day a week they all get together. You know, Rhino, Doc Ock, Tombstone. They draw straws, and whoever gets the shortest straw is like the bad guy for Spider-Man this week. And the rest of them just live about their lives as usual. Because at this point, why don't they just all like fucking team up and just wreak havoc? Spider-Man's having a hard time with Tombstone. Can you imagine if like even if Rhino was just extra there? But I guess Tombstone wanted to do... That's the problem. These bad guys want to do more than just kill Spider-Man. They want to just up everything in. Like just fucking murderize him and your problem is gone. But then again, is that easy or bad writing? No one will know. I mean, no one knows. All right, Spawn. I keep forgetting that a lot happens in some of these ones, and this one, a lot happened. Cordelia is in trouble. Forsaken is pissed. He found out some shit. Now, again, I read this about a week and a half ago, so I don't recall all the deets. Overt Kill shows up, and he seems to be like manipulating this Mark character. The problem when you tell your friends or subordinates, this is for Spawn, little to nothing, they tend to not trust you, and they start to do things on their own against you, thinking that they're going to solve the problem better than you are. It's a good allegory, I guess, for a boss trying to micromanage everybody. I left a company because my boss micromanaged everybody. If you just let everybody just do their work, you see everything would just come out so much better. All right. It turns out Cordelia, I have no idea, but Cordelia is a violator. I'm like, oh, shit, that's interesting. That's news to me. I remember I only picked up Spawn at 317. So it's been 13 issues I've been on Spawn. So anybody who hasn't been developed in these 13 issues, I don't know anything about them. And at the end, Overt Kill seems to have killed a Spawn. Not Spawn, but a Spawn. And Forsaken fights Spawn at some point, and as he's beating the shit out of Cordelia as the violator, Spawn shows up, not to her rescue, but basically to stop Forsaken. I think he's Forsaken. And fucks his shit up. Good. They have like this super big battle, and then he just disappears. I'm like, wow, what a pusshole. My kid was trying to tell me that he put Dr. Octopus's arms on some guy and then made it for Legos to hold guns on some other Lego guy. Because he was kind of awestruck by the Stormtrooper gun I made. It was basically a gun that holds all these guns. So like, there's no way the Stormtrooper will fucking miss now. But I'm sure you find a way. Those guys are resilient at sucking. Yo, we cloned these guys after the finest warrior. Motherfuckers couldn't hit the broadside of your mother. Anyways, a lot happened this issue. This is definitely one not to have missed. I keep forgetting what happens in these things. I think it's because there's too many like spawns. I think next month, or in a week and a half, when I go pick up my next pull list, I will definitely spread out the spawns. I usually put them in order of what I don't want to read to what I do want to read. They're not in that order now. They're just in an order of what I took them in. But I usually put all the spawns together. And I think next I won't. All right. Scorched. There's the Scorched team divides into two teams. Team 1 is infiltrating a base. Team 1 is She-Spawn, Gunslinger, Mark, and I can't remember his name, but he looks like Anti-Venom. Team 2 is trying to heal and fix Natasha. She ends up being possessed by some kind of crazy ass, weird looking monster, and puts up one hell of a fight against Team 1, which is, the angel guy. I can never remember his name. And medieval Spawn. Yeah, I think that's the two. Spawn's not there. Team 1, she spawns infiltrating the base while Gunslinger, not Anti-Venom, and Mark are hanging out outside. They're deciding why, or trying to figure out why it is that they're not helping as she's infiltrating. She gets to the database and she deletes only the information about her. She's trying hard not to have any information about her daughter or her anywhere on any system. So she deleted all that shit. It woke up some crazy new assassin thing that could put the big hurt on the spawns. And she was done. So her and some ghost run out. And she's like, all right, I got a bogey, shoot or do something. She jumps out a window. Anti-Venom takes out the legs. Gunslinger Spawn takes out the face. Then we go back to what Team 1's doing. They are all beat up while Natasha got away. And that's how it ends. Oh, is it good? Hang on, I don't think. Spider-Man's great. It's really keeping you in the dark enough, but giving you enough information of some other stuff to keep you going. Now we really want to see what the fuck happens next. If it continues to go too slow, like Lost, I don't know if I'd go. I think I would stop. I'll know after 6 issues, but I mean, I want to know what happens next. After I read number 3, I'm like, oh shit. And then 4, and I'm like, oh shit. Jennifer Blood, sure. Spawn. If you're a fan of Spawn and you're already getting it, should you just jump in? Now's not a good time. I can't imagine when would be a good time. But, like, I guess now's not a worse time than never. Scorch is already at issue 7 as far as last month's concerned. But with Spawn, you can get the compendiums. The compendiums are pretty cheap. They're almost a third the cost of an omnibus from Marvel. It's a soft cover, so that spine's going to look like shit. And but you get 50 comics instead of 45, which is the traditional omnibus size, 45. This one you get 50. So I bought Compendium 1 and 2, and 3's coming out in August. So whoop whoop on that. If you can catch up with 3 compendiums, that's up to 150. You can catch the rest up with trades, I suppose. I really want Spawn to be forced to open the gates again. I'm patiently waiting for that. This month, I didn't even ask for this. Oh, you can see my dirty thumb smudge the cover. Yeah, I took this out of the plastic. I fucking read it. What am I going to do with a facsimile? Spawn number 1. I also have it in the compendium, so I read it. It was good. It was really good. He's trying to figure out who he is. What he did, and all his memories are slowly coming back to him as he has a urge to help still. He helps some lady getting attacked. This is the first book on my chopping block, Gunslinger. I always dread having to go through it, and it turns out to be all right, but only all right. The first issue was cool. The next 3 were There's a whole thing with the clown. This one, same thing. I hate when people don't give all the information to the people that are supposed to help them, because you're asking for them to betray you. Not just that, it doesn't matter what happens in these books. Nothing life-changing or life-altering will happen, because Scorch takes place afterwards. So it's almost not redundant, but it's not really worth it. So that's the first one of the Spawn books that will be on the chopping block. And I think it's the only one that Todd actually writes. Yeah. I mean, he's involved in all of them, but I think he really writes this one. King Spawn, a lot of shit did happen in this one. Spawn is he took the throne finally and became King Spawn. And he thought with all that extra power, he'll be able to stop all these heaven motherfuckers that are trying to stop him. He kicks the shit out of a violator and says, aren't I your king? Shouldn't you be listening to me? In the meantime, Terry, who the other guy married to Wanda, he's got some other scheme, and he wants to blow up the throne. Now, again, this takes place before Scorched. Does it not? I don't know the time frame. I'll have to look it up. But if this takes place before Scorched, we know nothing happens because Terry is helping Spawn in Scorched. Yep. I am not a fan of the writer. Al Ewing or Hentai V, whichever their names are. No. Give this book to someone more credible, but this was about Eddie Brock. Eddie Brock wakes up in the later future of like 60,000 AD, and Conqueror Kang is there, and he's supposed to train him on something. We don't know what, but they fight it out. Eddie inside a symbiote robot. It's almost like a symbiote Iron Man. And he fights Kang for a bit, but then Kang leaves. He convinces Eddie that, very good. You're pretty strong, but you're not going to beat me. Come on. Anyways, this is the way it was supposed to go, and he wanted to show him something. We're still trying to figure out what. But the only reason I started picking this up again is because it's Eddie Brock. I don't fucking care about no Dylan. Dylan can go blow goats. Fuck that Dylan guy. Fuck him and all his stories. Oh, that's the worst when you're a fat woman and you have small tits. No, get off your phone and walk your dog properly. Now, I'm a fat guy, but everything's proportional, you know? All right. So there's not much to say. Get it or not get it. It's Eddie Brock. If you like Venom and Eddie Brock, yes, get it. That's it. Other than that, you can miss this one. It's not a tremendously amazing story. It's Venom in space again. Here's Venom on Earth. This is a throwback series, a Lethal Protector. Nothing to do with the first Lethal Protector, but around that. No, actually even before that. This is even before he's in San Francisco. He's still trying to kill Spider-Man. I don't know what timeline they're trying to use, and I try. Michelina needs to remember that there were no cell phones back then. There was barely an internet that worked. So it's tough to go back and write for this stuff, but this has been a good story. It was really funny how he took out Hydro Man. Is that his name? Water Man? Water Guy? Hydro Guy? Anyways, the Water Guy. He added a laundry detergent to him. And as he started bubbling up, he used the nail gun to shoot all the bubbles out. Until finally he oozed away into a storm drain. I thought that was really fucking funny. Unfortunately, those who think or have seen Hydro Man as like a real threat in Spider-Man will be disappointed that Eddie Brock or Venom takes him out so easily. But apart from that, it's not a bad series. It's not as campy as the old ones, but it's definitely got the characters in it that are really bizarre. When I get the whole series, I'll do a full-blown review on it. Oh. Flash 783. What an ugly ass fucking cover. It's funny. He's already got the gold medal as everybody starts off running with the finish line wrapped around him. That's funny, but what an ugly ass thing. Has nothing to do with this. Oh, it's a variant. Adams is not a bad writer. This is part of the Dark Crisis, right? And it ends as Wally and Wally end up in like the Silver Age Flash. So I'm curious where this is going to go. But let's not forget that Barry Allen's still missing. And I don't know if he has anything to do with all this. I was so excited for this. I don't know how to feel about it. Spider-Man 2099 Exodus Issue 1. Featuring Winter Soldier 2099. And Crossbones 2099. Winter Soldier's got blue hair and the side of her head is shaved. She's a no-nonsense motherfucker who takes no shit from no one. In this book, she didn't struggle. The writer, it's somebody Orlando. I have no idea if this is a typical SJW writer. I don't know if this is SJW written all over it. I try really hard to put those out of my mind and just enjoy the action for what it is. And it's difficult. But there was nothing about food, so I went with it. It was all right. Winter Soldier is quite the badass. Not sure if she's going to help out Spider-Man for the coming problem. So what it is Norman Osborn from the past, I'm assuming, just sent some, what seems like Garden of Eden thing, landmass, somehow. I didn't get Alpha, so I have no idea like how this started. And everyone's jockeying for a position to get to this place. Winter Soldier got there, and she like takes out this guy. He's like, "You want your memories of your past life?" She's like, "Fuck that," and punches him in the head to death. He's got like this big dent. I thought that was really cool. But then again, is it SJW? I don't know. So Winter Soldier is like a big nobody, nothing. Nothing happens in this book. It's like they're still trying to build the world. For a miniseries, I suggest you don't do that. This is like the opposite of Rainbow. Too much happens and you're like, what? Well, Loki fights not Valkyrie. This woman saw Ragnarok and he was there too. And she's trying to take arms up as though she's a Valkyrie. And he's trying to find a way to rebuild Asgard somehow. And in one issue, they managed to do just that. Rebuild the gods, and she's now a god. But she ain't helping Spider-Man at all. Again, it's trying to build a world. And they're trying to do it too quick. Speaking of too quick, like my ex-girlfriend used to say, Avengers 2099. So apparently Moon Knight has the power to just bring back the dead. These guys were a team and they were beat out by Zemo and a handful of assholes because they had the trap card, black card. Now you know if you've played Yu-Gi-Oh! That if you have the trap card, black card, ain't no way you're going to win. In fact, you die. Just to be brought back by apparently Moon Knight Reborn. So Moon Knight brings them all back as he's trying to rest. But it's not Moon Knight, or it's not the Moon Knight we know. It's just the god himself in rags, bringing everybody back to life on the moon. Now, was it on the moon that he brought them all back to life, or did he go to Earth? I don't recall. And I read this week. But I was just baffled by how everybody was just brought back like that. And they managed to win this time. I guess they got Exodia, the Forbidden One, and those black cards are useless. I don't know. Again, it's still trying to build a world too fast. Too much happens. There's a lot of dialogue that just like, you're like, what? Huh? This is definitely a series to read again. And once I get them all, I will. And I'll go over it. Ugh. Oh boy, I went over this already. No, don't get it. And Spider-Man 2099, don't get it. Do I have anything before that? Flash, don't get it. Don't get the Flash. Just stay away. Stay away from DC. Wait till they got... Well, actually, no, don't stay away from DC. Because there's this. I went over this one. This one is fantastic. Holy shit. My goodness. Never has a comic book turned so fast in my hands, except for like Arachna and Gun Honey. Oh, and some of the omnibuses I'm reading right now is Savage She-Hulk. This was cute. Yeah, get the Batman. Don't get the She-Hulk. This was cute. It's a one-shot from the Vampverse. It's basically the Mummy or Tomb Raider. It's a different Vampirella. It's not the Vampirella we know from that's a Draculon from Draculon. She was some cosmic being that was humbled by the blade of light that then shattered, and she spent the rest of her time fighting for the light and against the other group that was the darkness. But if you put the two artifacts together, some shit's supposed to happen, and it almost happens, but then she got her powers back. Oh man, it was actually very well done. I would recommend this if you're like a one shot, do it up. But we're not done yet. Remember when I said DC is garbage? I forgot about this, right? This was pretty good. I think Thomas Wayne is my favorite Batman. Though this book makes his father skills or his paternal skills seem worse than Goku's. As Oswald Cobblepot is the butler, every time he's like, but the kid wants to play with guns, so let him play with guns. I'm like, shit. He doesn't care. This Batman doesn't give a shit about anything. He wants to end his own existence by setting the timeline right. He believes that this is another Flashpoint. I guess he read the title of the book. Very meta. But he's trying his best to just destroy whatever fuck shit's going on here. And every time he interact with somebody and they say something profound, he doesn't give a shit. He has hang on. He interacts with Two-Face's wife in Arkham after he tried to go see what was it? He had to go see not Pariah, Psycho Pirate. What a fucking dumb name. DC, man, dumb ass names. What are we gonna call this guy? Psycho Pirate. Does he travel around the world in the 7 seas of your mind? No. Does he rape and pillage and plunder psychos? No. I don't fucking get it. Psycho Pirate? Well, he's right up there with Captain Cold and Captain Boomerang. Captain Boomerang! What the fuck did he do for a living? He's not from Australia, is he? That's not... yeah, then we got Captain Bacon and Maple Syrup. Where the fuck is that guy from? Not Canada. Captain Poutine. We have a Captain Poutine out here, actually. I think it's actually the name of a restaurant. Captain Poutine. Hey, do you want to poop on the toilet later? We have the poutine for you. Anyways, Jeff Johns. I mean, do I need to say more? I'm curious on where it's going. It could go one way or another. I'm hoping it goes the way I think it's going to go. I think it's going to go in a way that he's now canon and he just has to live with it. And now he's got to make better decisions in his life. But he's still my favorite Batman. He fucking kills people. Can you imagine how long the Joker would last with this guy around? Man, in Flashpoint, he drops Harley Quinn right off the fucking building. All right, I'm done with you. I got what I needed. Boom. I'm like, oh, shit. Cyborg was there to catch her, but still. And he fucking kills Yellow Flash. Spoiler alert, I guess. This was what I was incredibly excited for. Do a powerbomb. I am a huge wrestling fan. Bret Hart, Stone Cold, Hogan, NWO, DX. I watched it all. WCW, WWE. I mean, I didn't watch NWA because we didn't really get that shit here. But during the Monday Night Wars, I was watching it. Both of them. And I prefer WCW. Even as bad as WCW was written, and as really entertaining as The Rock and Stone Cold, and I'm not going to say Triple H was entertaining. He was there to get beat up. That was Triple H's job. He was just there for some good guy to look like a great good guy. But after he won all those matches and kept the belt for so long with his sledgehammer move, I stopped caring. So Triple H ruined wrestling for me. AEW brought me back into it, but I have to say that they've been more than disappointing. Thank God for that Jim Cornette character. Oof. Anyways, this is cute, but the jury is still out. I'm not sure I can fully recommend this yet. I'll have to wait to see how the rest of the series goes. Because right away, it's a woman wrestler who's the champ in Japan, and her opponent is a man. And I'm like, but this would never happen. In fact, it did with Tully Blanchard's daughter. What was her name? I mean, something Blanchard. And she beat some fatso. I forget his name. I'm thinking Ham. Every time I see his name, I think Ham. Anyways, he was like this, like... I mean, he's a... Callahan. I think that was his name. And he beat her in another match, then she beat him. And I'm like, you can't do that. You can't have a girl beat a guy. I mean, it's you put Ronda Rousey in a match at UFC with someone with the same skill level and weight, I'm pretty sure the dude is gonna win. We're faster and stronger and more resilient, and I don't know, man. Now, I'm not saying that women can't be fighters. I'm just not sure that a woman could beat a guy. Now, I know it's wrestling, and it's hard to do a comic book or a story about wrestling. Like, how do you do it? Do you do it as kayfabe? Or you do it at the locker room? And we're not even sure. You're not sure how this is going. So what happens is, should you get it? I don't know. I mean, yeah, get it. At the very least, it's bizarre how the rest of the book is going to come out, or how the rest of the book is going to go. But, oh my God, my hand is shaking so fucking much. So this champion, Yua, she the Steel Rose, she fights this dude, and he's going up on the top rope. First of all, she hits him with like a reverse ninja kick. And then he just massacres her, throws her outside over the guardrail. He does a moonsault from the middle of the rope, not from the corner turnbuckle, lands square on her, crack, throws her ass back in the ring. He's about to do his move from the top rope. His foot slips. She lands with her neck twisted to the side. And it was a mistake. But we don't know kayfabe things yet, right? We don't know. And everybody's at the hospital. Her daughter's there. She loves wrestling. Her husband's there. Her husband's not even there. Her husband's in the back. It was her uncle, the little girl's uncle. And they're in the emergency room or the hospital, and they get bad news. The mom dies. Then, fast forward 10 years, and the little girl's trying to get wrestling going. Like, she's having matches, but she's just not winning. You can tell she has heart. And she's not wrestling dudes and almost winning. She was wrestling ladies, and she lost. She tried to do some kind of like, she was basically in the position of a crucifix, but she was using it as a submission. I think I saw that once. But then the big lady jumped to the corner and did like that hold when a lady's got you or someone's got you, you're essentially setting yourself up for a Samoan drop. And that's what she did and pinned the little kid 1, 2, 3. The kid isn't being trained by anybody. Nobody wants to wrestle her. Everyone thinks she's a curse. So she walks out, and some weird death-looking guy with Macho Man sunglasses and Undertaker's hat come out, and he's all like, "Let me tell you something, brother." No. He was like, "Hey, I have a match for you. We're doing a tournament, but in the other world." I'm like, "Oh, cool. I think I read that. It was supposed to be an unworldly tournament. And the prize is not just the belt. The prize for winning the tournament could be something to bring back her mother's from the dead." Ah, that's fucking swank. So yeah, you know what? Now that I think about it, get it. Because just to see how that fucking shit's gonna turn out, it's gotta be so funny. It's definitely better than Ultimate Muscle so far. Anyways, that was my pull list this month, bitches. It was all right. That was 40 minutes of my time, of my lunch, gone. 20 minutes to eat. But enjoy comic books. Go out and read it. I hope this inspired you maybe to go get some. If I wasn't so enthusiastic about the Spawn, it's because there's still stuff about that world that I don't get. So if you're not already into it, it's hard to get into. Because you keep being introduced to these people and everyone's like, oh, you're Cyborg or Cygor or whatever. And you're like, who? Okay. Yeah. Anyways, the Spawn being what it is, Spider-Man, yeah, do it. At least for the first 5 issues. And then if you don't like it, drop it. I mean, at the very least, you got the first 5 issues. That's like a set right there. People will buy it from you. $20.99, stay away from. I'm going to finish the set just to finish it, but stay away. Flash, no. I'm getting it because I like the Flash, but I like Barry Allen and I like Wally West. Vampirilla, I was supposed to get Vampirilla Strikes issue 2. It was not there. I got that instead. Here's something, though. When you have a pull list, do it in person. Don't do it in email. I do my pull list email because it's not like right down the street in my comic book shop. I should do it in person, but that means I have to look at previews and then go back and tell them. And it's easier. It's more convenient email, but they seem to constantly miss shit and add shit that I didn't ask for. I didn't ask for Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man. I didn't want it. The fuck do I want Spider-Man for? Like I said, it's just a bunch of bad guys in a dilapidated apartment or a nice condo. Bunch of condos, right? And then just draw straws or who's going to be the bad guy this week. Well, Tombstone this time. And 6 issues from now, oh, it'll be Rhino for 2, and then it'll be Doc Octopus. Oh, I forgot to finish telling the story about Dr. Octopus. Okay, so my kid wanted to tell me that he put Dr. Octopus's pack on some other guy to hold guns. But what he said was Dr. Puss Octopack. And I laughed my balls off. Dr. Puss. Oh my God, I'm going to start calling a bunch of pussy babies doctor. Don't be such a Dr. Puss. The fuck is that shit? You're whining like a Dr. Puss. Now we have a full name. Dr. Puss Octopack. Because there's a guy I used to be friends with. His name is Shitbeard the Unfashionable. And the stories I could tell about this guy. Shitbeard the Unfashionable, his best friend the Wart, and his brother the Captain Comb-Over. These guys, man, and yeah, he went to military to become Captain Comb-Over. He is definitely the captain of comb-overs. And the guy's significantly younger than I am. But, like, there's stories about those people that I got, and it's just, let's save it for a different time there when I review wrestling games. But, well, outside of, I guess, Fire Pro Wrestling, I already did that. But this was my list. I recommend most of them. She-Hulk. Stay away from Marvel and DC. Just stick to Dynamite and Image and I don't know. I wouldn't say Boom. Don't get licensed stuff because you know they can't do anything really with it. When it's licensed, you're limited what you can do. I'm gonna go through that soon. And let me tell you, I got an idea for Power Rangers that'll fucking kill Perot right out of the water. But that guy should just stop. He should just stop writing. He's been doing it forever. Just give it up. You know, like, he's obviously lost interest. If he's doing 8 issues to solve a problem in Power Rangers, you lost. You lost the ability to write. You know, you should just pretend they're short stories, you know? Like, anyways, that's it for now. I could go on forever. Peace off, bitches, and read some fucking comics, you assholes.